Oh, hey. Hey, everybody. Oh, I forgot to take this off. It's my selenite. Helps me in my meditation. I don't think anybody's in here, so I think I'm talking to nobody right now, but I'll hang out here for a little bit and see if anybody decides to join me. There we go. Is that better? I think that's better. Oh, making breakfast in the van. That's my heater. Heater is on. Hello, anybody there? I'm just gonna watch until I see people. I don't know if I will see anybody today. Bum, bum. There we go, that's better. I know. So I gotta live, this is how I gotta live now. Almost all the time. There's something not right with these, though. Like, yeah, there's something on them. Oh. How about let's put this away first. Hey! I don't know who just joined. Who just joined? I can't see. I wish I could. How do I see? Do I push that? Let's see. Live top chat, live chat. Okay. That's cool. How do I see who just came in? Oh, they left. Oh, well. And go back and forth, back and forth. Let's see what do I do with that? What does that show me? I don't know. I'm gonna plug this in. Oh, it's already plugged into something. Hi, Nugget. Where are you going? Did I not leave any room for you on the bed? I'm sorry, baby. I had to take everything off the cooler. I know, I'll put it back. What happens in such a tiny space? There it is. Is that all of it? There it is. Why does it sound like I'm breaking them? It's a little better. Oh, it's a lot better. Crazy. I know I probably need bifocals or trifocals, but the fact of the matter is that I'd fall flat on my face with those things on. I had to walk around like that. Whew. You know, I could have sworn I had two in here. Where did they go? Do you vanish out the side? But I mean, how? I do not know how stuff disappears on me. Hello, I don't know who it is. Shoot. It's so hard for me to tell. Make a comment or something so I can see you. I've been saving whiskers. So when Nugget drops a whisker, I've been saving her whiskers because I want to try to make a brush out of them for painting. I know. It's insanity. I'm crazy. But yeah, so I've been... But they keep vanishing. I put them in this container. I've collected 3 of them so far, and there always seems to just be one. Hi, well, it's my first real live, so it's a first for both of us. Ancient Carbon Maps, good to see you. Oh, wait, where did your comment go? Do I get to see them? Why do they disappear? I don't want them to disappear. Oh, shoot, where'd it go? Oh, there we go. Have you ever tried to... Well, I don't want to do vertical because then you can't see what I'm going to be working on in a minute. Aha. If I do vertical, it takes away from what I'm about to do. Because I'm finishing up my breakfast here and then I'm going to set up to paint. So if I was going vertical, you wouldn't be able to see what's over here. But, yeah. And plus, this is YouTube. This is YouTube. I'm cool with staying horizontal on YouTube. So. All right. Oh, I'm all greasy. Hello. Where do why do the comments keep disappearing? I've got to figure out how to make, I want them to stay on my screen. I don't know how to make them stay. Why won't you pop up? Well, thank you. I appreciate that you like my paintings. Oh, I'll get more views vertical? Well, yeah. But you know, I mean, I'll be honest. I don't do anything to get more views. I don't, oh, I can't. But then I can't see the screen at all. Oh, darn it. Well, that's what happens when you get over 50. Gonna live like this now. So at least they sparkle. Yeah, so I'm not a big, like, proponent of, oh, I'm gonna do this to get more views and that to get more views, because that'll just make me insane. It's too many things So I keep it simple. This is my existence. Yeah. But yeah, I'm so happy there's people here. Hi, everybody. Say hello. Good Sunday morning to be awake and alive. Why, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't feel a day over 30 either, but I am grateful for the wisdom that I have at 52. I would never go back. I don't want to go back. I like where I am today. I like what I'm growing into. So, oh, I don't want to burn my breakfast either. Ow, ow, ow. Yeah, I know. Florida. Ah. Wait, well, I missed it. It disappeared again. Dang it, they go away so quick. I wish they would just stay. Can we see them all? Why won't you? Show me, show me, show me. Okay. You're in Florida. I saw your videos. You did that. Cool. I'm so glad you did. Now, I think I tagged you in something. Did I tag you in something? I feel like I did. Or I sent you something. Maybe. Oh, hey, Jake. You have a super great day, too. Appreciate that. Yeah, so I have this, like, super fun interest in maps and geology and all that kind of stuff. And I love plate tectonics and, I mean, I'm a landscape painter, and a lot of that comes out of my interest in the way this earth moves, grows, and shifts on a regular basis. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Well, I thought maybe I tagged you in something because I feel like somebody was looking for someone to help them create new maps, but oh well. It was one of those moments. Your call sign looks familiar. Jake in Southern California, appreciate you. Thank you for joining me today. I went Southern California, man. I tried to get deeper into Southern California, but gas prices being what they are, I just couldn't swing it. Yeah, I hope to do it again sometime soon. I was in when I was 19. This is why I haven't felt like an urgent need, because when I was 19, I was working as a nanny, and the family that I was working for spent a month in San Malo, in just outside San Diego. I think it's like Orange County. Good morning, Maud. Hey. Yeah. So I spent a month on the beaches in San Diego when I was in my late teens, and I haven't felt the urge, like, since I've been there. I don't feel an urgent need to go there. But meh, everything changes. When I have more budget and I have a vehicle that can handle the trip, because right now this van's chassis, yeah, that's why I ain't doing any more loops right now. She cracked, or she's gonna crack, one or the other. So far, it's like I'm just grateful that I am in a really supportive community. So if she does crack, I get rides places. Does anybody know how I keep the comments up? I'm really trying to keep them. Let's see. It says settings, but I don't see how I can get it to show me all messages visible, but why won't you stay up? Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, that was in Arizona after going to the Grand Canyon. It was definitely a scary experience to find out that when you pay for roadside assistance, they don't, it's not the actual company, the insurance company that does it. They farm out that job. So they have a roadside assistance company that then goes and tries to find the tow truck driver for you. But whatever that in-between company was, they were not giving me anything that was real. I did report them to the highway patrol. I let highway patrol know that I was being deceived and told about a tow truck company that did not exist. I gave them the name of the company, and they confirmed that it was not a real tow truck company. So be aware. Just be aware. I am grateful for Facebook and my angels showing up when I needed them, because that was amazing to get up the next day and have this person just show up, you know, and help me out. That was incredible. What an amazing experience. Definitely a lot. I learned a lot. Ooh. I guess you still need a little more time. No, you're done. I keep thinking I have Teflon fingers, and I don't. I mean, I'm pretty well calloused from all of my years of picture framing and all that stuff, and I've got nerve damage, so I don't feel anything in my fingertips half the time, or at least until it's too late. All right. Ooh. All right. Ooh. Wow. So looking forward to getting to share about some of the things that are coming up for me. I'm not going to say anything until I have things set, you know, but I'm working on stuff and I want to share it. But I don't want to share it until it's set. Mm. Woo, how's everybody out there doing? Hello. Oh, uh, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Cinque. How do I pronounce that? Can you write it phonetically for me so I can pronounce it correctly? I'd appreciate it. I wish I knew how to get it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, Cinque. Ricardo. Hello. If you can spell it out phonetically for me, that would be awesome. So I can sound it out and say it correctly. I like doing that. I like pronouncing things the way people like them pronounced. I have a name that everybody mispronounced. You know, I'm a Marion. I'm an ION. And all my life they were anning me to death, and it was like nails on a chalkboard. I'm like, I did not say Mary Ann. So, hello. I'm going to call you Ricardo because that I can pronounce and say. It's my breakfast of champions burritos. Oh. Nope. They're done. I was worried. Ooh, thanks. One of those things I was born with. It's a natural talent. Once upon a time, it was something I was incredibly embarrassed about and ashamed about, but no longer. Yeah. It's amazing what happens when you realize that it's none of your business what anybody else thinks about you. I have no idea how long I'm going to be live for. I'm just going to hang out here. I'm just going to do my morning, and hang out with you guys. So go get your brekkie. I'll see you in a little bit. I do have to disconnect the stove, though, because I don't want to waste fuel by accident. Let's see. Just move things around. Let's just shuffle. Yeah, this was I did a reading for myself this morning. I do one every morning for myself, just to kind of give me an idea of what kind of energy to have for the day. And yeah, it's a powerful day today, my friends. A powerful day, and I'm looking forward to it. For sure. Oh. Ooh. Good morning, good morning. It's great to stay up late. Good morning. Good morning to you. Doris Day. I think that's from Pillow Talk. I'm not sure. Yeah, old movie. And I'm not even that old, but it's because my dad really shared his love of film with me. And when I was a kid, we'd go to the video store, and in my town, it was Academy Video. We'd go to Academy Video, and we'd pick out 3 movies for the weekend. And one was going to be always a black and white. And then one was going to be color, but still an older film. And then a third one would be more of a contemporary film. So it kind of gave me this really... And we did it, most of the time unknowingly. But when I look back, we always had that variety. And, yeah. So, film noir. Oh God, Betty Davis. Betty Davis makes me so happy. The original. The original Tough Cookie. I'll take it. Is that cool enough? Yeah, it is. Just getting myself all situated here so I can get set up for painting. Yeah, this is a pretty full garbage. I think I need to tie this one up and start something new. Oh, whoops. Don't get too aggressive there, Marion. You don't want to rip holes. Here we go. Put it up front. Okay, and this is gonna... Yeah, I tried, someone was suggested that I check with the company that made my stove. Yeah. Probably not the safest way to figure out if my propane tank is leaking, but I am really sensitive to the smell of it, so it's the way I check. Yeah, oh, right. So I was checking in on this, and I looked up Eureka. They are no longer making camp stoves. Wah, wah. And I say that because this is a really good stove, and I'm really bummed. Because this thing does not work great with it. It wastes the propane. It shoots out more propane than it needs to. And I can smell it. With the old attachment, I never smelt it. That's a big difference. Yeah, but I just have to wait. That's okay. This will make do. I'll use it the way it is and just keep disconnecting it every single time. Let this cool down a tiny bit. See if I can brush it. No. Ow, why am I doing that? I always forget. I forget that I can't do things. They hurt. Oy vey. Oi, 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 oi. This needs washing, so I might as well do that now while I'm waiting for that to cool down. Oh. Hello. Yes, time to paint. I'm setting up now. But I gotta clean first. I only have so much space in here. Okay. It's my box is always right here. And I've been working at keeping a schedule for myself. So I get up in the morning and I take my quiet time. I do my meditation. I pull cards for myself. Make my coffee. I eat. I should eat more because I have to take medication too. And then as I get ready, I put away the stove and immediately put my palette and my paint box on my work table, right? So that way it's in front of me. And if anything, I am looking at the painting that I'm working on and thinking about process, but most of the time I'm picking up my brushes now. And it's a good habit. And I don't know how long I can maintain it. I'm doing my best. You know, I'm learning how to be an adult with neurodivergence. Interruptions can change my trajectory in like a split second. So, yeah. All right. Let's get this. What did I spray in here to clean with? A mixture of vinegar and water. White vinegar and water. And yeah, it's just my simple way of cleaning. Yeah, you know, and you know what though? Sabotaging is a strong word. And here's why I say that, because it's not intentional. Well, okay. I will say 75% of the time it is not intentional for me to have that happen because my ADHD is what it is. So I don't punish myself anymore. The sabotage is when I start talking myself out of things. That's when I'm actively playing a part in the sabotage. So if it's just an interruption and I'm distracted, that's not sabotage. But if I'm actively looking for the distraction, yeah. So that's how I'm deciding it works. Like, right? I'm deciding that there's definitely a difference. All right. Get this cleaned up. And yeah, this is my dish from last night. But you know, I don't have more than a couple things, so it never sits for long. You know, that's one of the reasons I love living tiny. I can definitely... Oh. Ow, ow, ow. Okay, that's better. For those of you who understand, you know, if you have carpal tunnel or anything. Actively looking for distractions, my friend. You know, sometimes though I feel like it depends on what it is I'm distracting myself from. I feel like There are times where those distractions are actually avenues of creating a new approach for me so that I can actually get done what it is I'm trying to avoid. I've had that happen. So I don't, like I said, I've stopped beating myself up for it. I don't deserve it. I really don't. I need a new garbage bag. Here we go. Is this the holy one or is this a holy bag? Right? Musical ecolalia. It's lots of fun. Everything reminds me of a song. There's a song in my heart. All right. And we are not a holy bag. This is good. And if it was holy, I'd just tape the holes. I tape them up and still use the bag. Okay, this is now cool enough for me to put away. Yay! All right, so that can go in here. And then this is all I need to wipe this out. Oh, stop rushing. I'm rushing because I have an audience and I need to just slow down because I have to remember this is my live. Potential to support me, but when it comes to doing this. Yeah, well, marketing's just one of those things. I've learned. Wow. That's a deep subject, marketing. I think for me, the most successful marketing I've had is just being myself. Because I don't have to pretend anything or make anything happen. If I'm not trying to, be the perfect whatever, I have a better chance of succeeding. Because my other not perfects find me. Right? Okay. This is that. All right. Sing ho for the life of a bear. Sing ho for the life of Pooh. I got that. I listen to this book every once in a while called The Tao of Pooh. And the gentleman named Simon Vance reads the book. And in the book, he's having these conversations with Winnie the Pooh. There's this one chapter where they're talking about the Ode to Joy, and I can't remember even what the chapter is about. The only thing I can remember is that Pooh thinks that it's a song all about him. And I just love it. I don't know. It always makes me smile, and it makes me happy to think of that. Yeah. All right. Let's put this down and put this away. Here, here, and oh, I'm gonna have to change this angle a little bit. Let's see if I can just turn it without it flopping. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. I think that'll work. And I'm having magic garden moment. I don't know if you're from the New York tri-state area, 1972, magic year I was born. There was a show that came out called The Magic Garden with Carol and Paula, and they had this story box that would come down out of the tree, and it would like bounce like this, like it was ready to tell its story. That's what I was just thinking about. Okay. All right. So this. Inside my box are my brushes and this guy. Leave that up. So I don't know if you can, yeah, this is a little tricky, but I'll lift it up. So that you see this shelf and it's kind of deep and wide. And if I was to put if I'm not taping something onto the back of this, like now, I'm working on a watercolor block, so I don't want to tape it down. I have down here so that this does not fall in and I can't, reach the bottom of the painting. I put dice in the bottom shelf. I have 4 of them down here to create balance so it doesn't shift around. And then, boink, it sits perfectly the way I need it to. And I literally only just discovered this a few days ago, so I'm feeling really like, woo! Like I just discovered the earth. Okay. And these are my brushes. So I have, most of what I have here are these wonderful gouache brushes by Sarah Burns Studio. She is a gouache artist that I have been following since, I don't know, 2018, 17, somewhere around there, since she basically started her channel and her art journey. She designed these beautiful brushes specifically to be used with gouache. They have long bristles, most of them. They're sturdier than watercolor brushes, but they're also pliable like watercolor brushes. And so I have a lot of control with these, which I really enjoy when it comes especially to doing my favorite dry brush techniques. So I have a business. Whoa, wait, where'd it go? Thank you. I love smiling. Yeah, marketing's one of those things that I think is kind of necessary, right? Like, I mean, there's only so much we can do. This is another one of those Sarah Burns brushes. And then I have my silver black velvets. So you're hanging out with me here. Be my friend here. So we've got silver black velvet brushes, which I love. These are super. So these are watercolor brushes, and they are super duper soft, and they hold tons of water. So especially when I'm doing washes, I really love to use these brushes. I know I gotta stop touching my face, but they feel so good. Okay. All right. So now, today I'm still sort of working on this. I'm working on the Oregon Mountains. This is the caballo on top. That one's finished. But this says the Oregon Mountains. And I'm like I would call this I'm 3/8 of the way there because I still have a whole foreground to do. And I want to finish up the mountains. So we got that out. I have this out. This is not going to be easy because this is my daylight. light, and I'm not used to mixing without having my daylight light. So let's see what I'm gonna have to. Oh, I might have to turn on the beast. Sorry, guys. I'm not a fan. Ah! Just everything's gonna fall down. Everything's gonna fall down. Okay. And I should plug this in so I don't run out of power while I'm doing this with you guys. I almost forgot to plug it in. Okay. What was I reaching for? Oh, right, my computer. Yeah. So I gotta stop doing that. I do not have enough hotspot to be able to get my computer online. So thank you. I appreciate the validation for a well-supported belch. So here we go. And this is I use a reference photo to work from. All of the photos that I work from are photos I've taken myself. I shoot specifically knowing how I would like to compose and approach the landscape. I do not like to work from other people's photographs because I feel detached from the moment. And the moment is really important to me. Hey, I'm glad you got your brunch. I haven't even finished my breakfast yet. I basically took a couple bites and still not eating. All right. Pull up my image. I gotta plug in this light. I do not want to do it, but I gotta do it. Ah! It's just such a angry light. I don't like it. I feel like it's such an angry light. But it's not too bad, I guess. Is it bothering you guys? I hope it's not bothering you guys. Not much I can do about it. All right. What just happened there? Oh. Oh, that's Montana. Okay. I have my next. I basically. Oh, I'm glad it makes the painting pop. Thank you. Thank you. I was afraid maybe I was just blinding everything because I'm so super light sensitive. This light is a light that's really hard for me to have going in the van because it's so intense. Because my eyes are so sensitive to it. But I also, yeah, haven't figured out that one out, how to be, in light and still have my eyes open. Okay, so this is my image. If you guys saw yesterday's video, this is the painting I'm still working on. Yeah, so real time, babes. That's how this is rolling now. All right. This could be a good friend for me right now. This is an old brush, an old friend. This is a very true old friend to me. It's so old. I don't even want to tell you. I was using this brush doing French matting when I was in my mid-20s. That's how long I've had this brush. That's how long a brush can last for if it's made well and taken care of. It was a Windsor, once upon a time, it had a label, and it was a Grumbacher, not a Windsor Newton, a Grumbacher, but an old Grumbacher. It only now has a little bit of a wiggly tip on it. But I bought it for French matting, and I would, matting. Okay, so what is French matting? French matting is painting borders on mats. So, yeah, this is truly an antique. This is one of my best friends. It is totally splayed, right? Like, it's really rough now. And when it stopped having its smoothness, I started using it for marbleizing. So it has never been out of my hands. And now I use it in my paintings when I want to do grasses and stuff like that. And it's just, yeah, a friend, a true old friend. That's what a good brush. This is how things should be made, by the way, not to fall apart so we have to keep buying them over and over again. That's just a capitalist idea. You know, the capitalists are, the people who are the, want the money makers, just want things to break so they can make more. They don't care about landfills or any of that stuff. So this is my brand new. I just got it on Friday. A friend got it for me because my other liner is like got a split personality. And I tried using starch. I made some rice starch paste, and I tried to remold it, but it's still split, and it's staying split. Yeah, sadness overwhelms on that one. But these are artificial bristles, right? They're not hairs. They're not. So, and I know, I hear you, but I believe if we do things respectfully. This is another silver, so it's part of the silver line. So these are the silver black velvets. And this is another silver, and it's a liner. And I can feel it. It's really beautiful. Yeah. And I'm looking forward because I've been feeling like I cannot do my details the way I like to do them without. So I'm so excited to have this so I can work on the yucca in this painting. All right. Enough, Marion. You must get to work. Let's see. What do we have here? Let's see. Anybody saying anything? Okay. Let's see. So, palette number 1. This is my it's a work of art all on its own. All right, let's see. And I want this brush because I love the size of it, and it's going to be great for doing. I was using it the other day doing these details. And so put these over here behind me. Okay. And then this is this awesome little travel palette that I bought a while ago before when I got into the van. It was one of the first things I got for myself because this, oops, there's water in here, so I'm being careful. It was the water I was using the other day, and it didn't get too dirty, so I decided I should just keep it and use it again. So this palette is cool because it's a sealable palette. And, yeah, look at that. See how it works? I love it. Yes, I was in St. Augustine, Florida in 2020 during the pandemic, and it was abandoned. You should check out that video, actually. I have one. It was a little bit of a spooky kind of an experience, actually, because it was so deserted. Yeah. And actually, St. Augustine is the subject of one of the illustrations that I started in my book. Hold on, wait. So this is a prototype book that I started back in 2022 because I wanted to show kind of for people who were benefactors and patrons, just kind of how I would like the book laid out. So I'll show you. You know, so I have like my lady slipper inspired by my dad. It's when a lot of decisions were made for me the day my father passed away. And this is a view of a hike I did when I was discerning what to do next with my life, and the van was becoming more and more of an option for me. This is the night that I drove out of the state of Connecticut into Manhattan, or into New York, excuse me, not Manhattan, but this is the Hudson River. And this is not the Tappan Zee Bridge. It is the bridge north of the Tappan Zee Bridge that 84 is on. And then this is South Carolina. This is the first campsite I was at in Georgia. And I was not far from Springer Mountain. This was my first solo campsite. It was so beautiful. Okay, and now here it comes. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, here, I'm just gonna skip to it because I want to show you. And it's not finished, but maybe you'll recognize the street. So this is gonna be St. Augustine. Do you recognize it? Oh, this is my friend Giaco. This is a statue that I travel with. He was my friend before Nugget. And I would stand him in, like in the street or anywhere and take pictures of him, because he had his hands like bound to him. And I felt like during 2020, that's how we all felt, was like bound and trapped, right? During confinement when we were all separated from each other. So, and it was an abandoned street at like 10:30 in the morning. That's how spooky it was. It was not ever supposed to be this abandoned. But yeah. See if will it focus? Focus! Focus. Focus. It won't. All right, fine. But yeah. So St. Augustine, I was there in 2020. Oh yeah, right near the Marion Motor Lodge, as a matter of fact. Yeah, it's not far off the square. You know where the African American monument is in that square? I'm trying to think of the name of the square. But yeah, it's not far from the Marion Lodge, because I remember I took the photograph, I walked around the corner, and I looked up, and there was my name, and I was like, I'm supposed to be here right now. It's just one of those affirming moments. But oh my gosh, the live oaks. Oh, I should show you that one. Because after I went to St. Augustine, I ended up in Casadega, I think is the name of the town. I feel like that's the name of the town. It'll say it in here. Yes, Casadega, the home of the spiritualists. And this is my little Casadega. Ooh. My live oaks with dripping moss. I love them, love them, love them. I do want to turn this into a larger painting eventually. But yeah, I was in Florida for December and January of 2020 into 2021. Thanks. Yeah, I love, that was an interesting experience. It was really a struggle for me. My van kept breaking down in Florida. So I My memories were pretty stressful of being in Florida, but I loved painting the scenery. And yeah, I actually, when I was down closer to the Everglades, is where I started to really feel it as like uh, I felt in touch with the land. It's about the only place I felt in touch with the land in Florida was when I was down in the Everglades. Yeah, it's super expensive, is right. Even in 2020, I was like, ah! But you know what I found out also? I wanted to plein air paint in St. Augustine, but I was told by a local merchant that I needed a permit to paint outside because they consider it entertainment. It kind of freaked me out a lot. Um, because I started to worry, but I realize now that was just a St. Augustine, Florida thing and not anywhere else. Oh, yeah, I'm definitely writing stories about all the places I paint. And as I paint the paintings, by the way, I write on the backs of them. Not like full long drawn out stories, but I do it's partially for me, but also partially for you as a buyer. So um for instance, like this little Oregon, right, that I did recently. This is um the view of Cape Perpetua from Thor's Well. Whoops. I think you can see it there pretty well. Um and on the back I wrote, I began this painting back in August while camped at the pull-off for Thor's Well on the Oregon coast. I had this lovely view right out the van window. This is Cape Perpetua, and there's a walking trail that will bring you all the way to Cape Perpetua Visitor Center. Well worth the 2 nights I camped there. And so I write that on the back. It's all written in my script, my handwriting. So I feel like anytime you get a painting, you get a little piece of the story. But it also is a way for me to remember and keep notes. Helps me keep track too. Oh. Yeah, so I enjoy. This is the prototype. The idea was that I wanted to show people who were investing in me and in this project that I have this is how I would like my book to be laid out and how I would like it to look. And this was a first carnation. And I think now it'll be a little bit less of the writing and more of the painting. And then there'll be a second book that'll be a little bit more, because I want one to be a coffee table book that's more just about the art. And then I have more of a memoir of my travels and stuff, and that I want to do separately. And the reason why I want to do that is because I would like kids to enjoy the art book, and my memoir ain't gonna be for kids. Ro, baby, how you doing? It's good to see ya. Oh my God. How's my Ro? You been burying any bodies lately? I love you too, babe. I love you too. This is my little old lady who maybe worked with the Goodfellas once upon a time. Only one. Oh dear. You ain't working hard enough. Ro, you ain't working hard enough. I'm telling you, you should have more under your belt by now. I miss you, Joanne. I miss you, miss you, miss you. But I'm so glad to see you here this morning. Yeah, you need to retire. Yeah, you do. Okay, I need to put some fresh zinc white on my palette. All right. I know. I'm so spread apart. I didn't even think I was going to do this today, but I just, I was like, what the heck? I've never really done lives, so it's new for me and new for you because I'm unedited. And also, you can actually tell that I don't do a whole lot of editing in my videos except to take out a whole lot of ands, ums, and likes, and when I repeat myself. Yeah. You see me as me. Oh, crapola. Okay. Oh, it's not warm anymore. All right. All right, so open this up. Oh, by the way, this box, it's the Sarah Burns Studio box, is what my brushes came in. Look at it. This is one of Sarah's paintings. She's a gouache artist who lives in Scotland. And that was horrible. I'm sorry. If anybody's Scottish out there, I apologize. That was terrible. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Lives are just something I thought nobody would be interested in, quite honestly. Anyway, so you open it up. Okay, so this is what her brushes came in. I mean, what an awesome storage box. Look how beautiful that is. And this is what I keep my paints in. Yeah. I love it. If you love it, share it. We'd love that. Craftamo. They're awesome. Talk about a company that supports artists in a big way. They help artists do tutorials and put out their ideas, manufacturing ideas, all sorts of stuff. They're an incredible company. So I use Winsor Newton designer gouache. Actually, maybe if I turn this on, it won't be so shadowy. Oh, that is better. Okay. I didn't think that light was doing anything, but I guess it is. Anyway, Winsor Newton designer gouache, I feel like, is the best middle of the road for an artist's grade pigment. I purposefully choose single pigment colors because the more pigments you have in a color, the more when you mix it, it becomes muddy. So I also check for light fastness. What does that mean? It means it's less likely to fade, or it fades. It takes longer for it to fade in daylight. Because to say it won't fade at all is kind of a misnomer. I worked in picture framing for 20 plus years, so if there's anything I know about it, it's how UV rays affect artwork. Anyway, so Winsor Newton, I like it because it's creamy and consistent. It's always consistent. And yeah, it's affordable. So that's another big plus. So I'm just squirting down some more zinc white. And I need to mix a little bit more of this up. Where did I put the brush? Oh, McFly! Where did you do with the brush? Ah, there it is. It's so much fun when you can hide things from yourself every day. Okay. All right. So, I'm going to put a little water on my brush. And I'm going to grab, the only color I mix premix is my purple. And my purple is two things. It is a watercolor mixed with a gouache. And I mixed anthraquinone blue, which is the watercolor, with my permanent alizarin crimson, which is the gouache. And when you mix gouache with watercolor, the watercolor becomes gouache. It's because gouache is an opaque watercolor. It's really not that magical. But, you know, watercolor is way more transparent and gouache is more opaque. And I like the watercolor pigment is super strong and it's more staining. And I kind of like that for this purple. It's really great for shadows. And so I got more of that. And then we wanted to get, let's see, who else needs to come into this picture? I'm going to add a little bit of the perline black, which is actually a really dark green. But it is a single pigment. So perline, there's different perlines out there, but the perline black is the one I like the most. And it's a very dark green. So there's my purple. And this is my very dark, almost black green, right? Oops, somebody just said something and I've got to take a look. Okay, thanks. So yeah, and so I'm just gonna mix my dark green into the purple. You see how black it gets? So it gets really deep. And now I have almost a black into the purple. And now I'm going to take that and I'm going to add just a tiny bit more. No, you know what I want to add? I want to add a little permanent yellow to this. Let's add a tiny bit of permanent yellow. I forgot to grab a blotting rag. So I have these, I was pressing a painting yesterday, and one of the ways I press a painting is I take moist paper towel and I lay it across the back of the painting and put a blotter across the back top of that, and then I put weight on top of it. And when you're finished, you know, the paper towel is just super smushed and raggedy. However, it is still clean. So now I don't feel like I'm wasting when I use this as my blotter for my brush. And that's also why I do use Bounty. Bounty does not fall apart when I'm using it for cleaning my brushes. And because I do not have running water, using rags doesn't work for me because I have no place to wash them regularly. And if I spent all my time hand washing stuff, I wouldn't be getting anything accomplished. All right. Sure. A little bit of permanent yellow. And so if you look in here, this is the, oops, wow. Will you show up over here if I show you like this? Sort of, kind of, not really. I don't know. That sort of works. Okay, so this one here, boop, 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 is the cadmium lemon. And then this one's cadmium yellow. And then this is the permanent yellow. And the permanent yellow has a more orangey cast to it. And I like it for making browns, which is why I am adding it to this, because I'm creating like a sandy highlight. We are painting the stone. I need more red in this mix. Yes, I do. Permanent alizarin crimson. Alizarin crimson. Where you love like heaven. Where you love like heaven. Look Fill me with song, my love. Kiss me once more. Then I'll be where you love like heaven. Oh, yeah. Sarah McLachlan did a cover of that. Love that song. I can't remember. I feel like Frankie Valli or somebody did the first one, or somebody. Frankie Avalon, maybe? I don't know. One of those people did the original one. But I like Sarah McLachlan's version. Alright, so now, I think I've done it. I have mixed this wonderfully orangey, red-brown. See how nice and deep that gets? And, well, let's remember, our darks dry lighter and our lights dry darker with gouache. And so now I'm going to take this little bit. Woo. Oh, Donovan, thank you. I knew it was somebody from the 60s, and I just couldn't remember. Yeah, I know, right? Put in a little yellow and what bam. But I did add a little more permanent alizarin crimson to it too. So I've balanced it out. But you know, if you add, mixing your own browns is such a wonderful experience. I always suggest doing it because you'll really find out that you can create a much more earthy brown than anything you can pull out of a tube. And so now I'm going to blend this into my wash here. And see how light it gets? Woo! Isn't that lovely? And now I'm going to desaturate it even a little bit more by taking a little of my zinc white that I added here. Just a little. I don't want a lot because I don't want to totally kill it. And then there you go. Now I've got this wonderful light. Oh, this is not comfortable for my thumb, guys. I'm going to really do this as quick as I can here. I got to put it down. Okay. Adding a little bit more white to it because it's really pinked out right now. As I'm still working on my highlights. And I add a tiny bit at a time because I don't want to overdo. Ah, there we go. We're still a little pinky, but I think it's good. So there we go. See how that saturated out or desaturated out. So I use let me say this, for blending, I use the zinc white because it's more transparent and it allows the pigment that I'm mixing it with to become the subject rather than if I use permanent white, then the permanent white is the subject and it actually dulls down the vibrancy of the color. So I wouldn't want to use permanent white when I'm blending colors. All right. Now, where'd my picture go? Okay. So, I actually got pretty far the other day, and I thought I needed to like go crazy, but I think I did much better. And I thought, oh, I need more. I need more on my brush. I let it dry. Yeah, I'm just carefully, like, now I'm much more intentionally putting in my details and my places where the light is reflecting off the rock face of the mountain.
And I'm trying to keep it somewhat subtle. Okay, that's better. And every time I do it, I let it dry a little bit because the drying shift in gouache is a real thing, and I gotta constantly be thoughtful of that as I work.
Paint color mixing is so much fun. Well, watercolor pencils are pretty fun too. Have you ever tried melting them down? I know. I just thought of that. How fun would that be? I know, right? Like, I was thinking crayons. We melt crayons. We do encaustic painting with wax, right? Yeah, with fire. Just heat it up, man. Shave it, right? Shave off the wood. Put the chunk of the center of the watercolor pencil that's just the actual watercolor pigment part, and throw that into um a little container, and then put it in like a double boiler kind of a thing, and have it just on a low slow heat, so that no, the heat isn't actually touching the bottom of it, it's heating the water that it's sitting in, and just let it slowly melt. I bet you it would be amazing. Now I kind of want to try it, right? Oh, okay. All right, so I need to add a little bit of I want to add a little. What do I want to do here? I know I want to. I got that a little bit too dark. It's a little too solid. So when I get a little too carried away or a little too solid and I want it to be more subtle, I'm just going to touch in some of that background shadow color to break up that reflective part of the face. Now it looks much more natural. There we go. And for me, these tiny little details matter. I'm sure there's people out there like, Marion, you are just taking too much time on that mountain face. And I'd be like, well, honey, if you can do it fast and furious, congratulations. But I do not work fast and furious. I am a slow, intentional worker. Ah, yes, I am. All right, I feel like that's pretty good right there. Come over here. This guy still needs to have a little more pop on him. And comes like down like this a little bit more. And then there's like a couple of pow, pow right here. La 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 la. Oh wait. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, dissolving them in water, really. Yeah, that's definitely. Yes. Well, time for art. What you're doing right now, building out your bus, is its own expression of art. Don't forget that. Because everything, every single element of what you are doing has an art to it. We need to remember that. All of us. Every single thing that we do in this world, in this life, has an art to it. So for people to say art isn't important, they don't realize, just how much they're missing out on. They're missing the art in absolutely everything that's around them.
Yes. But it's one of the reasons why I do what I do. I want to share the joy of it, and I want to show people that there's art in everything. It doesn't have to be so, right? There's art in everything. Ba-ba.
The more you know.
Okay. Where am I? So I'm gonna come down like this. I want you to be a little Shelby right there. That's pretty good there.
Dun 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 dun.
Ba da ba da da da. Ba 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 ba.
All right, so now I want to throw some of this in. So now I'm going to do some tinting.
Tinting, you say?
Tinting, glazing, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to take that wonderful orangey brown, right? And I've added water to it, made it really, really transparent. Because this muted area take some of this on top of that. La la. Kind of dulled out this spot a little too much, I think, but it's not. I have to stop thinking about it as the subject, right? Because I know this is just the background. I haven't even gotten to the foreground yet. But I do need to add some deeper shadows before I start going crazy with this tint.
And I see where I need them. I need a deeper shadow here. And some deeper ones in here. And this shadow needs to be deeper. This needs to change a little bit. I need to add some mid-ground in here. Okay. I'm going to go grab my purple mix. Deep purple. Deep purple. I love my purple. But I'm also going to add some ultramarine to it because, yeah, I want it to be. So you know how like when you look at the mountains in the shadows, it looks like bluey, right? That's the blue light getting trapped. And that's that ultramarine type color. So, let's see, who's first? I gotta go do you first. Oh, I almost forgot to look. Oh, hello, Sonia. Oh, I'm going to do my best to do them more often. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Oh, my heart. I definitely, I want to do more lives also. So I'm going to just, maybe that'll be my new like Sunday morning thing. Just turn on the camera and do whatever I'm going to do that day. Okay. Oh, whoops, where'd my picture go? Hello. I tried. So one time I tried taking the timer off, the timer that like blacks out your computer screen, your screen
saver. That's the word, screensaver. I changed the timing on it to be longer so that I wouldn't have to constantly keep pulling my image back up again. But then one day I forgot I had it on and it burned my battery out super duper fast. So since I can't remember to reset it and shut it off, I have to leave the timer on the way it is. Womp womp.
Alright, but it's okay. Alright, let's see.
I want to get in here. Get in here. And so I don't want to like do too much, but I want to give this shadow a tiny bit of definition, right? Like, because shadows aren't blackened out necessarily. And these aren't blackened out shadows. I can see ridge lines and movement in the shadows. Got to give our shadows some depth. Otherwise, right? Do, 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 do. All right. What about you? Ooh, that was a neck popper if ever there was one. I'm popping my neck without meaning to. All right. I think if I add a teeny tiny bit more shadow in here, I might have a little less of a, yeah. I don't want you to go straight across like that. There we go. Let's give it a tiny bit more. Not too dark, but just a little bit. Just gonna touch it into all my little voids here. Give it a little. Oops, that was a little too much. A little bit too much. So let's go like this. And then I go pop, 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 teeny tiny little ridges, teeny tiny little ridges. I love these mountains so much. So these mountains, the Oregon mountains, are east of Las Cruces and west of White Sands here in New Mexico. They are called the organ, as in the instrument, an organ, pipe organ, mountains, because the Spaniards who first colonized this area, and I'm using the word. So, the Spaniards who first colonized here called them the Organ Mountains because they looked like a pipe organ. I have yet to know what Native Americans or tribes would have called these mountains. I have no idea. I don't know. If you know, oh my gosh, if you know, please put it in the comments. I'd love to know the original name of this formation. It's one of my favorites. So beautiful, so dramatic, so alive, seriously. And every time I hear I can't do those bass notes. Oh, okay. I think I might be. I just want a tiny bit more poppy pop right there. Boop a doop 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 doop. Oh, even that. It was just a tiny drop and it was too much water. Okay.
I start off the page and work my way onto the page sometimes because it helps. Like, when you think about it, like if when I paint trees or anything like that, I always think about what's under the ground as well as what's coming out of the ground so that things can feel like they're truly growing out of rather than being placed on top of. We have a subtle shadow here that I somehow missed out on this ridge line here. Something is not quite right over here, but I don't know if I can really fix it that way. Let that just be in the shadows. You don't have to be. There we go. This is all a deeply shadowed area over here, and I just don't want it to get too pronounced. I have to stop soon because this is really... I don't want to overwork my mountains. I get a little compulsive and obsessed about being correct.
Because I'm painting a portrait of a mountain. And to me, these are living and breathing entities. This whole earth is a living, breathing entity that we have the opportunity to be a part of. That is what I see. I'm not sure I like this brown over here.
No, I might be okay with it. Hold on. Let's get you more transparent. Take a little water out of this. And maybe I can make it like... Oops.
Don't worry about that. This is gonna, a lot of this is gonna get covered by the yucca as the yucca comes up in the foreground. So I'm not terribly worried about this line right here. It's why I've kept it really loose. But I want to show the way these mountains are, right? So the Oregon Mountains are like a double, if I understand it correctly, it's basically a double volcanic thing. So there was a rupture of the Earth's crust, right? And it settled, and then it ruptured again and settled. So it's like a double push. And they happened at different times. So that's what creates these amazing, and that's what's so cool about this area of New Mexico too. People realize the Rio Grande Rift is like a super, super awesome, still stretching thing. And the Earth's crust is super thin here. Super duper thin. That's why hot springs everywhere. And it's pretty cool. If you ever have curiosity about the formation of our tectonic plates and how, come to areas like this where you can really see, because this is a pretty young area of the country. This was once a seabed, a very shallow sea, but it was a seabed. It's kind of cool.
Oh, and the Rio Grande Rift is one of the very few active rifts in the world. Also kind of cool. Fun facts. That's a really hard shadow line. I kind of want to soften it. Or how about this? We bring up the bottom of this. Where you can kind of start like round at that ridge line. And you kind of go like that. And then you go across. That's better. That's better. Now we got that, and that shadow's going that way, so we need this to show as a face of... And some of these shadows aren't necessarily so much shadows as like super duper thick growths of juniper. And pinyon pine trees. Oh, the pinyon pines are so beautiful. I love them. Okay. What else do we have going on here that I need to pay attention to? Anything? I'm feeling pretty good. Because the sun shines here like, this is shadow, shadow, shadow. Although I do need to bring it down more over here. I got to deepen this over here a little bit. Okay. I see what's happening. Grab my... Ooh! What was that? You popping? The temperature must be rising. I hope my heater's not too loud for you guys as a background noise. I can't really do much about it because I don't like to paint with sleeves. I know, crazy. I'm weird. They annoy me. Sleeves annoy me. They get in the way, and I find myself distracted by them. All right. So here's where the rock face kind of comes down and ends, and then we have all of this down here, which is still sort of in like a shadow because the angle of the sun. See, I'm just kind of like letting it be on top. I don't know if you can tell. Oh no, you can't. You can't see that at all. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Let's see. Is that better? I don't know. I can't see the bottom corner of my screen there, so it's hard for me to tell. Okay. I guess you can see it. I was thinking you couldn't. All right. Here we go. La la la. La 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 la. It's a weird angle for me, but I will get used to it. I will deal. And it's actually kind of cool because then I can't try to manipulate too much control.
that too wet?
That's too wet. Oh, if you
can't see what I'm doing.
I have a little paper towel in my hand, and what I'm doing is just touching literally the base of the bristles to get the excess water out of the brush so that I don't have like a sloppy blob that I don't want, because too much water will make mud, and I don't want mud. I'm already in danger of mud. Oh my God. All right. We're going to play a little Name That Tune. This is what just popped into my head. Bum, 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 ba-da-da. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. La-da-da-da-dum. La-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. La-da-da-da-da-dum. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Anybody yet? Anybody? Anybody? Yay! How did I know, Maud? Yay! I am so glad I'm not the only one. I mean, it's seriously. Actually, if there's ever been a series of books that I would like to see a more documentary type version so we could get a more honest look at the way life was and not so Hollywood, Little House on the Prairie would be it. Because if you read those books and didn't watch the series, it was a way harder life than that show ever led on. Actually, isn't it baby Carrie that falls? Or is it Laura that falls? I can't remember. I think it's baby Carrie that falls in the meadow and has to get back up again. Yes, Joanne, we are talking Little House on the Prairie right now. Yeah, because didn't Laura was like an airplane going down the hill, like, right? With her arms out, like she was flying. Yes, that's right. That's Carrie. Carrie is falling in the meadow. Thank you. I was right. Because, you know, Mary, like, carefully walks and steps, right? And then Laura, like, flies like a bird, right? Because Mary's the older, more mature, more careful sister. And then Laura's like, woohoo! Let's go climb some trees and jump off a cliff into a pond. Yes, Mary was very, very proper. You're watching. Hi, Mom! Hi, I hope you're doing great. Oh, yeah. This is like Sunday morning with Marion. Sunday morning. Let's lose your mind. Come lose your mind with me. All right, I kind of like that. But yeah, if there's ever a show that I would like to see come back and done with more reality in it, I would like to see Little House on the Prairie. be more of a docu-series. I mean, Laura Ingalls Wilder was real. She has descendants, and they have all of the honest journaling and writing. So there's no reason we can't have a much better version. Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, was the best. Oh my God, I was so excited when that show came out. Oh, people were so mad. Do you remember how mad people were? Oh my God. How dare a woman be a doctor? Oh. Yeah. Thank you, Jane Seymour. You did play a good role. I don't know who the producers of that show were, but I definitely enjoyed Dr. Quinn. I haven't seen it in forever, mind you, but I remember it well. Whoop. Oh, I'd have a crush on Sully too. Yeah, 100%. Oh my gosh, you've been to the homestead? Oh, wow. So that's one of my goals when I get to those states, is to do a little Laura Ingalls Wilder loop. I want to go visit her homesteads and see all of that. That's something, yeah. I mean, to me, like, that's how I learned how to be. Laura, like, couldn't handle keeping secrets, right? She always wanted to stand up for those who were being trod upon. And that's kind of where I learned that from, if y'all want to be honest. Was it always the greatest example? No, but it was what it was. What do we got here? The dugout. Oh my God, yes. That was on the shores of Plum Creek. That's when they lived in the dugout. I remember. I'm just creating depth with this. I'm not trying to go crazy with detail. It's just about like breaking up some of this. Because I want to show where the rock face ends, and then there's more of like where everything grows, right? Like it transitions from earthen cover to more of a rock face. And I did not put enough on my brush for that. There we go, that's better. I just didn't want it to be so linear. So I'm softening it up. That's nice. I might leave these alone now for a little bit, I think. Maybe what's needed over here? Anything? I don't know. This is bugging me right here, and I don't know why. And I don't know why. And I don't know why. Oh, cool. I love that you're seeing the transformation. For me, I don't see it until I watch this video, watch it back. I feel like I'm really missing something there, and I don't know what it is except for details, but I don't know if I want to go too crazy on that.
I think I just might leave it alone for now. All right, it is time for me to start putting in some yucca.
Woo! I love me some fucking yucca, man.
Out here, like, I
That came from one day. We were going, some friends and I go to Hillsboro, New Mexico every Sunday. And it's a ritual. Anyway, on the way into Hillsboro is a transition and elevation. And when you transition through the elevation, you see all of the yucca appear. They just begin to appear on the hillside. And it looks like a herd of them. And if you look up at the top of the mountain, it looks like they're lined up like soldiers on top of the mountain. It's like the yucca. And I remember looking up and going, holy fucking yucca, Batman. And it stuck. So it will always be the fucking yucca for me. But I love these. These are my favorites too. Oh, can you see it? Oh, there it is. There's the plume. So there's a couple different kinds of yucca. I can't remember what this one's called. I should look it up and find out. But right now I'm not going to because that would mean shutting all this off so I could go look around. So there you go. If any of you know the difference, that'd be awesome. This one's specific. I feel like this one has a medicinal use to it. If I remember, someone said that to me, like it's a faded memory in here. That this specific yucca is for medicinal use. But anyway, Maud, maybe you know. Or maybe you got a book that can tell you. Because that would be fun to find out. I guess I have to stop fixating on the mountains. I think I need to stop fixating on the mountains and transition into the foreground. So, means let me grab my other brush. Because now we're going to rough in some yucca. All right. Where? Oh, here you are. And I think I'm going to start with my old friend. Yeah, if you didn't hear me talk about this brush earlier, this was one of the first brushes I ever had in my personal collection for when I was doing French matting on mats in picture framing. So I got this back in the late 90s, mid 90s really. Yeah, gosh. Ooh. I put together my first kit in 1994. And it was a brand new Grumbacher way back then. 1994? She's 30 years old, dude. I had no idea. I'm like, oh my God, this is a true antique. Wow. Sorry, that just sort of blew my brain apart. Okay, so I am going to start with the shadows of the yucca. All right. This is where my Perling Black is going to be a great, amazing beginner of help. We have a juniper that's in the distance back in here. A tiny juniper that's like right here. Yo, hang out there, please. I don't need you disappearing on me right now. Where did my blotter go? Hello? Where did I put? Ah, is that it is? I don't want you to be so wet. You hear me? Yeah, this is an old watercolor brush, so it also like picks up and holds water, even though it's as old as it is. This baby really holds a lot. And I want more of a dry
brush for this. I don't want you to be so blotchy. All right, so I want to add a little yellow. So I have some cadmium lemon to give me a little bit of a whoops. There we go. Soften it a little bit so it's not so hard. That is just a distant tiny juniper, nothing fancy. But I'm creating landmarks for myself. Trying to just create a little depth at the bottom of it. There we go. So that's that. And oh my god, over here we have a deep. And then there in the foreground, we have you. And you're going to be like right here. And you're going to go all the way up. This is me marking. Like I said, I'm basically creating just markers for the direction. So for distance, so this is tiny juniper in the distance. We have a bigger yucca coming forward, and then one of the biggest ones, and then the biggest one is going to be here, but it doesn't have a lot of shadow in it. So let's just get that one sort of marked as well. Here's that one. I'm holding space for yucca. I don't know why I find that so funny. I really don't. Okay. We have another one that's like boop, boop, a little further back over here. And then one over here that's like a, this one is a little further back. And then this one's a little closer. Alright. That kind of got a little too dark, but I can fix it. I'll just paint over it. It's gonna become a part. That's all there is to it. Like I said, just blocking. I am just blocking this out. Alright, so I think I got as much of that in, right? Y'all. So now I want to create just some golden green in the distance, because the yucca is like, I mean, it's a field of yucca. It's intense. Let's see what we got. Okay. I need a little more. I need it to be a little more brown than. So maybe let's mix those two together. See what happens. I have my cadmium lemon that I put a little perlene black into to create like a mid-green. And so I'm going to add a tiny bit of this brown mixture that I made right here to this green to get, oopies. I'm just covering it all right up, aren't I? So that's the green right there. And then I'm going to mix a little of that into it, because I'm trying to create like a. Well, these are yucca that have made it through the winter, and if you know the way yucca changes color, and it becomes like golden on the edges and brown at the tips, because the freeze happens right in the winter months, and those little tips are like. Yep. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. All right, here we go. That plus that is perfect. I want more yellow. I want more yellow. I want more yellow in my color. And I decided instead of the cadmium lemon, I want more permanent yellow. Because it's more golden. And there's way too much water in that mix now. Holy. Alright, let's just dab it and get some of that water out of there. Okay. This brush really holds a lot of water, people. Alright. Oh. And then add a little bit of this permanent yellow. I don't have much permanent yellow left, so I'm being really, really stingy with it. So on that note, if you are able and you would like to support me in this project I'm working on, yeah, I am purchasing all of my art supplies at Dick Blick's. I am not purchasing through Amazon any longer. Oh, what a gorgeous color. Okay. Still too freaking transparent though, darn it. I need to mix with a different brush. This brush has way too much water in it. And then there she goes, dipping it back into the permanent yellow. Because why take the time to go put this down and pick up another brush? All right, mix it over here. And then we have, ooh, I like it, I like it like that. Right, I gotta turn this a little though so I can. Still too much water in this brush. Lots of tiny little yucca. Yucca in the distance. Oh! Sometimes that happens.
I've shared with you guys, I have issues with my hands. Years of picture framing plus other things we're trying to discover. I do have an appointment with a rheumatologist, but not till June. And maybe I get to find out why I keep dropping things and have no feeling half the time in my hands or my fingers. But I do the best I can with what I got. All right. I think I feel like I've got enough in there to feel, yeah, and then I have a rock that's gonna go there. I want a rock right here. And there's a boulder. Is it a boulder? Looks like a boulder. It comes across here. And we have desert floor. And this is all just yucca leaves. Okay. Alright, so this brush is going down for now. So if you are a hypermobile person and you are young, beware. Take care of your joints. Don't show off your flexibility. It's not good for you. It's not good for your joints. You can actually overstretch. Be careful. Coming from someone who I just thought I had to stretch more. Every time I thought my body was getting tight, I would stretch and stretch and stretch, and then found out I was overstretching, and my fascia doesn't really hold me together well anymore. So be aware, your fascia can lose its strength, and very little amounts of exercise can actually strengthen your fascia, because your fascia is not the muscles, it's what holds your muscles together. Yeah. Anyway, just a little moment. Whenever I struggle with my hands doing what I need them to do, or my body doing what I need it to do, I feel the need to say, be careful to all the young people out there. Anyway. All right. Now I need... I want you to be a little bit pink. I'm putting in ground, by the way. So in between all of this is this very dry desert. Like, it's like a very sharp grass. Okay, there we go. So my phone just got super duper hot and it kicked me offline. I forgot to turn the fan on it. So I don't know, this might not be good. Wait, maybe if I put it on the other side. It's gonna create some noise, so, but otherwise I just have to shut off the camera. which I may be doing soon anyway. But Maud, I just wanted to, because I do want to know. So there's a few different kinds of yucca. And this one in particular is the one I'm talking about. You see how it has this really distinct plume? I understand that that particular yucca has medicinal values, but I don't know what they are. And I thought maybe you might have a book to look it up in. That's what I was thinking. Oh, I don't know if you heard that, but I farted. Yes, I'm just a gassy person. I expel all sorts of gases. Yep, that's my life. All right, so now I had started, I don't know how much you guys saw because I don't know when it shut off. But yeah, it might not have been that long, I don't know. But it also said that my battery's really like super duper not going to be great for long. So even though it's plugged in, it's still draining. I don't know how that works. I don't know why that happens. Boop-a-doop. All right, take some of that water out of there because Mama does not want a wet brush. Let's see what we got here. Good job. And da-da-da-da. These are... Oh, nope, not enough. Let's see. Yeah. You gonna... No, you're not. Okay. Take a break. I'm trying to be so careful not to put too much on that I'm not putting enough on. All right. I think it's time to leave this brush, maybe. I don't know. No, I still want to use it. I just want more opacity. I just want more opacity. But without changing my colors too much. Are you gonna work for me now? Are you gonna give me... You gonna work now? Can you work now? Can you work now? Nope. Oh, no. Not really. All right. This is not doing what I want. Oh, excuse me, everybody. Oh. Albuterol to save the day. Yay. Okay. All right, I need to make this thicker. And I just... didn't want it to get soupy, But I realize I really have to add a lot more of the zinc white to make a creamier thing. Color? That's what I was going for. Yeah, so now I've created just much more of an opaque and now this brush is super duper. I know, I've been told over and over again I shouldn't be mixing my colors with my brushes. That I should be using like a palette knife or something like that. Tell you what, I really don't feel like a palette knife does what I want as far as blending goes, and I actually feel like it dries out before I have a chance to use it. And I know I could add like blending medium and stuff to make everything dry slower, but that creates its own, it also creates its own different kind of quality to the work. The blending medium also can add a sheen to the paint that I'm not necessarily crazy about. If I'm doing reflections in the water, that's when I really like it, because then it makes the water look like glassy and liquidy. It's really cool. All right, this might be good. Did I finally get you to be what I want? Yes, finally. Not having the effect I want, but I was trying not to get into like too detailed a brush just yet, because I'm really making an effort to not be too anal about this. There we go. Maybe here that'll work. There you go. It's not really doing what I want it to do. All right. Frustration. Sometimes. All right, so maybe just leave that as is for now. And let's try this. I'm going to throw some water in my... We're going to start working with the cadmium yellow. Cad yellow. Here's an empty bay. An empty bay. It's not I'm not parking in a garage. It's an empty well, really. That one. Just that's the cad yellow, and then we're gonna just take it over here, right? Just squeeze some of the water out of the brush into this mixture, and then go over here to the green. And let's
just dab it in. Let's see if this works the way I want it to. All right, let's see if I can. As you can see, I'm just basically making some simple. I am not trying to be too detailed about this. I'm doing my best to keep this super loose. It that way it keeps the whole painting feeling much more natural and organic. Oops.
It's a balance.
And I don't like what I'm doing there. Let's be careful. Slow down there, buckaroo. You don't want to turn that baby in the mud, so maybe it's time to just let her dry for a little bit. Yeah, I guess that's what's going on here. I'm gonna let her dry.
This is where I'm going to stop today. And let me give you a close-up. Because now I got to let all this totally dry. Otherwise, I'm just going to make mud. But here we have the development of our foreground. Yeah. Ooh, I do like the way those mountains look, though. Ooh, I think I'm very happy with my mountains. And I will be happy with my yucca. But I just gotta let it dry. Hey, Dee! Good to see you. Thank you. Thanks, Maud. This is definitely a stopping point for me today. Let's see. Did anybody else pop in? Woo! Well, everybody who stopped in today, I'm so grateful to all of you for hanging out with me this Sunday. It was lots of fun, and I'm going to do this again. So maybe this will be like a Sunday morning deal. Ooh! Hi, Gretchen from Montana. It's good to see you. I'm like, this is my New Mexico, but next on my plate is Montana. I have, let's see. Whoops. It's in here. There it is. I have a couple different images I'm going to choose from. But this is one. I really don't like the way my computer shows it, but maybe it's a very... Ooh, that's not bad. Yeah, so that's this one Montana. And this is between Red Lodge and Absorki. I appreciate that, Gretchen. The thing is, I only work from images I have photographed. Unless I'm doing a specific commission for you, then I will work from your photograph. However, for me, part of it is also the experience I had while I was there. So these are images I shot on my last loop. And so I want to work from those. I have this one, and then I have... These are the two that I've shot. I picked specifically right now. But there's this one. Whoa, my computer screen stinks. But yeah. So these were... Oops, where are you at? I saw you and then you vanished. I've been to Montana. I was in Montana last summer. I was in for a couple weeks. But I did have to pass through. The weather was changing rapidly. I do want to return, but it won't be until after I've had an opportunity to go to states that I haven't been to yet. This is part of my book adventure. So also the reason why I'm going to work from my own images for this particular project is because it is all part of one thing for me. But definitely, I will come back. I will come back to Montana, and so if you have specific spots you think would be amazing. Ooh, on your train trip, you're gonna take the train. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, what a wonderful way to see the country. Oh my gosh. I'm a little envious, I admit. Northwest, I have not been. I couldn't get any further because it was still early spring. What was happening is like there was still a lot of refreezing going on, and I don't have proper tires for that kind of travel. So I was being safe. And I also didn't have access to heat other than my propane. And honestly, like with my issues with neuropathy, I can't get myself that cold, that consistently cold. And it was very cold back in early, I was there in early June, June 1st, to be precise. I entered the state maybe like May 31st, right? Or 30th. 30th, 31st? January, March. I can't remember. Ah! -30 for, no thank you. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you being able to handle that. My body would not. I would just crumble. I don't do well at all in freezing temperatures. But that's another reason why I want a different vehicle for doing the rest of the states. I also would like to get some winter stuff, but oh, you're trying. Hey, well, stop trying and just do it. No, I'm kidding. Sorry. I had someone say that to me a long time ago because I was like, well, I'm trying. Well, I'm trying. Well, I'm trying. And they said, well, while you're trying, you could have been doing. And I was like, ah. It was kind of an awakening for me. But I get you, and I'm not. Ooh, awesome! I love car camping. Well, obviously, I live in my van. I can't cook outside because it'll become too many steps for me. So that's why I don't do it. I mean, it's not like I can't. It's just if I don't have someone there to help me move forward through the process, I get lost and then I don't do. Yeah. ADHD and autism together. Woohoo! And last year's. Oh, cool. Oh, Gretchen, that'll be awesome. I hope for you. Definitely. I gotta say, I left Connecticut with $600 in my pocket. I didn't have any special savings. I didn't have any great income. You know, COVID hit right after, we all were told to stay home right after I left. And yes, who's in charge today, Maud? Who's in charge today? Oh, yeah, so I left with nothing. I don't and then it became even harder, right? Because I was supposed to be like painting and selling on the road and playing my guitar and busking. Well, COVID didn't allow me to do any of that first year, really, right? And so then the second year we were starting to open a little bit more and a little bit more. Meanwhile, the difficulties I'd had with my hand were getting worse and worse. Menopause played its role, and my joints are struggling even more than they used to because of it. So, and I don't have a whole lot of functionality left in my left hand. I am waiting to see a rheumatologist so I can maybe have a solution. That's why I haven't sold my guitar. I thought about it a bunch of times. I thought, am I carrying dead weight? But I was encouraged by my coach. I'm glad for them to wait. So I'm going to wait until after the rheumatologist and see if, they might be able to do something to give my left hand more functionality again. But as it is now, I cannot play guitar. And that was going to be a way for me to make money, and it no longer is. So it is all around the painting, and that's okay. So here I am. I'm still doing, even though. So, oh, what did you say, Gretchen? I saw you. You said something. Yeah, well, yes, you do. No, it's not that. I mean, it is tricky, but it isn't. So I made my home base New Mexico. Oh, Gretchy Sketchies. Oh, wait, Gretchy Stretchies? Stretchies? Oh, I'm going to have to look that up, Gretchen. That looks awesome. um, yeah, that's one of the reasons I'm hanging out. Oh, scrunchies. Ooh, like hair scrunchies. Is that what you're talking about? Like hair scrunchies? I think that's what you mean. Yeah, I made after I left Connecticut, it took me a while to find a home state. But I've decided I love New Mexico. It's a place that's easy for me to always feel like I can come back to when I'm traveling. And so that's basically part of why I didn't travel so much for a while, right? I took a year off, one for my mental health and my physical health, but also because I needed to establish relationships with doctors. Community. It's community. I make friends. I have a friend who lets me use their address for mail. And another friend who, when I need to, lets me park in their driveway and plug in. So for things like this, where I would never have the battery power to do a live if I wasn't able to plug in at a friend's house. Since my Jackery got stolen, I've never been able to afford to replace my solar. So there's that. Yeah. But I the home base thing, for me, it became this is just the place I keep coming back to, and I have an address here that I use, and I've established relationships with doctors here, and it's all Medicaid. I'm not I don't have special insurance. I didn't even know that I qualified for Medicaid. I had a friend who had to tell me that I qualified, and then they helped me go and apply, because I was thinking I wasn't allowed to have it. And now that I have it, I'm scared I'm going to lose it, because it's been the first time in my life that I'm actually taking care of my body. And it's a little scary to think that we might lose it. So I'm going to keep trucking forward. Ooh, this may have dried enough. Well, I got to shut this off. Thank you guys for watching me today. I'm going to pipe in again next Sunday. Yeah. Find a friend. Find a friend. It's worth it. And seriously, like, I got to this community. I mean, I have something I deal with, and that helped me find community, because I found other people who deal with the same things that I deal with, and we help each other. So it's pretty cool. And it took me, I was coming back here. I came back here 4 winters in a row, 2 winters in a row, and then the third winter I stayed for a year instead of just the winter. And so it took time for me to find where I am, but I love this place. That's why I keep coming back to it, and it's why it has become my home base. So it was good to see you too, Maud. And thank you, Gretchen. Thank you, antique map person. You disappeared. Maybe you left, but Dee, Joanne, all my buds. Ro, it was nice to see ya. Oh, let's see. Did I miss anybody? I don't think I did. Carlos. Sonia. It's nice to see you, Sonia. Ooh. Let's see. Oh. Okay. Antique. Oh, ancient carbon maps. That's what I was trying to say. I said ancient maps or antique maps or something, but ancient carbon maps. Nice to meet you, see you. Everybody knew it was wonderful to meet you today, and I'm going to try to do this every Sunday morning. So hopefully see you next week, everybody. Take care, be safe, love each other, take care of each other, support each other. Let's help bring each other up. Let's help bring each other up. Mwah.